Your dog has been talking to you every single day, not with barks, not with whines, with something so quiet, so ordinary, that most owners walk right past it. Today that changes. There are 90 million dogs in the United States alone. Almost every single one lives with a person who loves them deeply, but understands them only partially. Dogs don't speak in words. Today we're going through 10 things your dog does every single day. Things that look like nothing. A glance across the room. A spot they always choose to sleep. A habit you've probably laughed at. But each one carries a meaning most owners spend a lifetime missing. And if your dog has done even one of these today, they were not just being a dog, they were choosing you. Welcome to Canine Science. Subscribe now, because what comes next will change the way you see your dog forever. Let's start with number 1, the door spot. You've probably stepped over your dog 100 times without thinking twice. They're just lying there, near the entrance, near the hallway, somewhere between you and the outside world. And your first thought is always the same. They like that spot. Maybe it's cool. Maybe they can see the kitchen from there. But stop for a second. Dogs carry 15,000 years of survival instinct in their bodies. And in the wild, where you rested wasn't random. It was a decision that could cost you your life. You rested where you could see the threat coming, where you could move fast, where you could put yourself between danger and the ones you die for. That instinct didn't vanish when dogs moved indoors. It just found a new target. You. Research on canine spatial behavior confirms dogs don't choose resting spots randomly. They choose based on sight lines, exit access, and proximity to the people they're bonded to. That's the science. But here's what the science can't fully capture. When your dog picks the spot between you and the front door, they aren't just following instinct. They're making a decision about you specifically, about your safety, about what they're willing to do if something comes through that door. Some dogs do every single night while you sleep. The house goes dark, you close your eyes, and they quietly get up and take their position. Not because they're restless, because they've decided, without being asked, without being trained, that you are worth watching over. That's not a dog lying around. That's a guardian who chose you. Number 2 is something you've seen every single day, and you've probably never once understood what it actually means. Number 2, the follow. You stand up, they stand up. You move to the kitchen, 4 paws on the floor behind you. You turn down the hallway. They're already there. You never called them. You never even looked at them. But here they are, like a shadow that decided you were worth following. Most people laugh this off. They're bored. They think you have food. They just want attention. None of that is what's happening. In 2021, researchers at the University of Vienna studied something called proximity seeking in dogs, the biological drive to stay physically close to a bonded individual. What they found was remarkable. When a dog is near the person they're attached to, their cortisol drops, their heart rate slows, their entire nervous system shifts into a calmer state. You are not just someone they live with, you are literally a physiological regulator. Your presence changes their body chemistry. Think about that for a second. They don't follow you because they're bored. They follow you because being near you makes them feel better in a way that nothing else does. In the language of pack animals, the one who gets followed is the one who is trusted completely. Not the strongest, not the loudest. The one whose presence tells every nerve in their body, "We are safe right now, that's you." And some dogs take it even further. They won't settle into sleep until they've physically confirmed where you are. Not because something is wrong, because they feel responsible for you. Because in their mind, knowing your location isn't optional, it's the job. That quiet set of paws behind you through the house isn't clinginess. It's the most uncomplicated form of trust one living creature can offer another. Number 3 happens when you're not even home, and what your dog does in that moment will probably stay with you for a long time. Number 3, your smell. You leave the house. Could be an hour, could be a full work day, and when you come back, you find them curled up in your hoodie on the floor, pressed into your side of the bed, nose buried somewhere that smells like you and nobody else. Your first instinct is probably to smile, maybe feel a little guilty about the laundry situation. But here's what's actually happening in that moment. A dog's nose is not like yours. It's not even close. Their olfactory system is somewhere between 10,000 and 100,000 times more sensitive than a human's. But more importantly, smell doesn't work the same way for them emotionally. For you, a smell triggers a memory. For a dog, a smell doesn't just remind them of someone. It summons them. It makes them feel present, real, close. Your scent? Not your shampoo, not your cologne, the actual biological you underneath all of that is the single most calming input your dog's brain can receive when you're not there. And the science backs this up directly. Research published in peer-reviewed journals has shown that when dogs are exposed to their owner's scent in their owner's absence, the caudate nucleus, the brain's reward center, activates, the same region that lights up when something genuinely good is happening. Your smell doesn't just remind them you exist. It tells their brain that everything is okay. So when they drag your jacket off the chair and curl around it, they aren't being dramatic. They are doing the only thing available to them to close the distance between where they are and where you are. Older dogs do this more. As their energy fades and the world gets quieter, scent becomes their primary connection to the people they love. It's how they hold on. Next time you find fur on your favorite shirt, don't be annoyed. That shirt was the closest thing to you they could find, and they chose it on purpose. Number 4 happens in the middle of the night. You'll never see it, but it's one of the most devoted things any living creature can do for another. Number 4, the night shift. It's somewhere between midnight and 3 a.m. The house is completely still. You're deep in sleep. You have no idea what's happening, but your dog is awake, moving quietly through the hallway, pausing at the front door, checking the windows, scanning the rooms one by one, and then, without a sound, returning to their spot beside you before you ever stir. You will never see this. It is designed to go unseen. Here's where this behavior comes from. For tens of thousands of years before dogs ever lived in houses, wild canines survived by taking shifts. While some members of the pack slept, others stayed alert, not out of fear, out of responsibility. The ones who kept watch were not the weakest members pulling a bad shift. They were the most bonded, the most invested, the ones who had decided that the safety of the group was worth more than their own rest. A 2025 study published in the journal Animals found that dogs sleep significantly better, deeper, longer, more efficiently when their owner is present, which tells you something important. When your dog is up at 3 a.m. doing a perimeter check, they aren't restless. They aren't anxious. They are choosing to be awake because something in them has decided that while you sleep, someone needs to be watching. That someone is them. Behaviorists have noted this behavior is most common in dogs with the strongest human bonds, particularly in homes where a person lives alone or where the dog senses vulnerability. They read the silence, they read the stillness, and they respond to it the same way they always have. I'll handle this. You rest. Some dogs go one step further. Mid-patrol, they'll stop at your bedroom door, step inside quietly, look at you. Sometimes a soft nudge, just enough to feel your breath, confirm you're okay, and then they walk back to their post. No recognition, no reward, just the job, done in the dark, every single night. That is not a pet. That is someone who loves you in a language so quiet most people sleep right through it. Number 5 will probably make you laugh, but stay with it, because what's underneath it is completely serious. Number 5, the bathroom follower. You close the door. Within seconds, scratch, whine, a nose wedged into the gap at the bottom like that's gonna help. You laugh. Of course you do. It's absurd. But here's what's actually happening on the other side of that door. In the wild, separation from the group wasn't inconvenient. It was dangerous. An animal alone was an animal exposed. That response is still hardwired into every domestic dog alive today. When you disappear behind a closed door, your dog's brain doesn't register privacy. It registers absence. The most important member of their world just vanished into a room with strange sounds and no visible exit. Behaviorists call this territorial monitoring. Every space you enter is a space they feel responsible. The bathroom is just a room, but it's a room with a door that cuts them off from the one thing they've decided matters most. So they wait, completely focused, until you come back. And if they make it inside, watch where they position themselves. Most dogs don't face you. They face the door. Still watching, still working, even in there. This isn't invasion, it's devotion. A dog who has decided your safety has no exceptions, not even the ones you'd prefer. Number 6 is the complete opposite, and it's just as meaningful. Number 6, the groom. You sit down, they flop beside you, and then they just start cleaning themselves, licking their paws, scratching an ear, completely unbothered. Looks like nothing, might even look lazy. It's one of the most significant things they can do in your presence. Grooming requires vulnerability. When a dog is focused inward, cleaning, scratching, rolling, their alertness drops. Their ability to react to a threat drops with it. In any environment where something felt wrong, a dog simply wouldn't groom. The risk is too high. They can't afford to look away. The only time grooming happens is when an animal feels genuinely, completely safe. And they chose to feel that way right next to you. A 2024 study from PLOS ONE, measuring brain activity during human-dog interactions, found that grooming and close physical contact produce some of the strongest positive psychophysiological responses in dogs. Not play, not feeding, quiet closeness. Some dogs take it one step further. Mid-groom, they stop, look at you, hold it for just a second, then go back to what they were doing. That pause carries more than it looks like. It's a check-in, a confirmation, a quiet, we're good. I don't need to watch the door right now because you're here. For older dogs, this becomes everything. When the energy for running and playing fades, this is how the bond survives. Two bodies in the same space, one of them completely unguarded. That's not nothing. That's the whole thing. Number 7 is direct, personal, and it's aimed straight at you. Number 7, the lick. Your hand, your arm, your face if they can reach it. You probably pull back, maybe grab the nearest wipe, maybe laugh, but that tongue is saying something that goes much deeper than affection. In canine social structure, licking has never been casual. Mothers lick their pups to bond them, calm them, bring them into the world gently. Adult dogs lick each other to settle tension, reinforce trust, signal, you are safe with me. It is one of the oldest social gestures in the canine world. And when your dog does it to you, they are not making an exception. They are including you, not as an owner, as family. Here's what makes it even more specific. Dogs can detect chemical changes in human sweat caused by emotional shifts, stress, sadness, anxiety. They don't just sense these things, they taste them. And research on canine empathic response confirms that many dogs respond to those detected shifts with exactly this behavior. Not randomly, deliberately. They're not just licking you, they're checking on you. Some dogs build rituals around it. Every night before sleep, a lick on your hand. Every morning when you wake, a nudge against your face. These aren't habits that formed by accident. They are years of your dog deciding consistently that you are worth showing up for. And here's the detail that tells you everything. Some dogs only do this with one person, not visitors, no other family members, just you, your specific scent, your specific skin, that particular combination that their brain has filed under one word, home. Number 8 will make you smile before it makes you feel something, but the feeling is the part that matters. Number 8, the gift. You're sitting there doing nothing in particular, and then it arrives, a tennis ball, a sock, something unidentifiable from the back of the yard, dropped at your feet or pushed directly into your hand, and your dog is looking at you like they just did something genuinely important. They did. Dogs don't give things away easily. They guard what they value. They carry it. They come back to it. In canine social behavior, offering a valued object to another member of the group is a specific act, not play, not accident. It means something precise. I trust you with what matters to me. Research on canine social behavior confirms that object sharing between bonded individuals is an active trust signal, not instinct, not habit. A deliberate social gesture that says, come into this moment with me, be here. You are worth giving to. It shows up in every breed. Retrievers do it more visibly because it's literally in their working DNA. But the social impulse underneath is universal. Older dogs do this less. But when they do, the weight is completely different. An aging dog who brings you the toy they've had for years, the one that survived every chapter of their life, isn't handing you an object. They're handing you a piece of what they love, placing their history directly into your hands. Even a crumpled sock delivered with total sincerity is a compliment. It says, I thought of you. I wanted to give you something. You were worth the walk across the room. Number 9 is the one most people get completely wrong, and the misunderstanding might be costing you something. Number 9, the turn. They climb up, circle once, and then settle, facing away from you. No eye contact, no curling into your chest, just their back pointed in your direction as they drift off to sleep. And something in you wonders, are they ignoring me? They are doing the exact opposite. In the animal kingdom, turning your back is one of the most dangerous things you can do. You lose your sightline, you lose your reaction time. Whatever comes from behind, you won't see it coming. The only beings any animal turns their back to are the beings they trust with their life. When your dog faces away from you in sleep, they are not rejecting you. They are making a declaration so deep it bypasses words entirely. You will not hurt me. I don't need to watch you. I am safe. Behaviorists call this guard-down positioning. It is almost exclusively seen in dogs who are fully, completely bonded to the person beside them, not occasionally, not when they're tired enough, as a default, as a choice. And some dogs go even further. They sleep facing the door, back pressed towards you, eyes toward the world. That is the deepest version of this behavior. It means two things simultaneously. I trust you completely, and I'll take the watch so you don't have to. A position that looks like indifference. A position that is actually your dog placing themselves between you and everything outside that room. When your dog turns their back to you, they are not turning away. They are leaning in with everything they have. Number 10 is the last one, and it's the one that will stay with you longest. Pay attention. Number 10, the moment they come to you, you weren't loud about it. Maybe you weren't even sure you were crying, breath a little uneven, eyes wet. The kind of moment you try to keep small and private. You didn't call them, you didn't move, and then a weight on your knee, a nose against your arm, a head, heavy and warm, settling into your lap like it was always supposed to be there. They didn't wait for an invitation. They just came. Here is what was happening inside them in that moment. Dogs don't experience sadness the way we do, but they detect it with a level of precision that genuinely stops researchers. A 2018 study published in Learning and Behavior found that dogs responded to the sound of crying by approaching and offering comfort significantly faster than they responded to neutral sounds, and that the dogs most likely to help were the ones who could manage their own emotional response first. Exactly like humans. Your dog doesn't just hear that something is wrong, they taste it, they read it in your posture, in the shift of your breathing, in the specific chemical change that moves through your body when emotion takes over. A bonded dog doesn't detect your distress approximately. They detect it specifically, and then they make a choice. Not to wait, not to watch from across the room, to close the distance, lower their energy, bring their body to yours, and stay. Behaviorists call this empathic responding, the ability to read another being's distress and take deliberate action to reduce it. In dogs, this is not poetic. It is measurable, consistent, specific, reduced movement, lowered posture, sustained contact, physical presence. Older dogs feel this most deeply. Years alongside you have tuned them to your baseline so precisely that they know something is wrong before you've fully admitted it to yourself. A slightly different tone, a longer silence, the particular way you sit down when the weight gets heavy. They don't respond with noise. They don't try to fix it. They just come, and they stay. That is not a reflex. That is not training. That is a living creature who has decided, in your worst moment, in the moment you most wanted to disappear, that being beside you is the only place they want to be. That is love, in the only language they have, and it has been there every single day. Your dog will never say the words, but now you know where they've been hiding them, in the spot they always choose near the door, in the footsteps behind you through a quiet house, in the way they press their face into your pillow when you're gone, in the patrol they run at 3 a.m. while you sleep through it completely, in the toy dropped at your feet with more sincerity than most people manage in a lifetime, in the back turned toward you in sleep, not away, never away, toward, and in the weight that appears on your knee in the moments you were sure nobody noticed. Every single one of those moments has been a sentence, and every sentence has said the same thing. I chose you. I choose you still. Every day, without exception, without being asked. That's not a dog being a dog. That's love with no agenda, no conditions, no days off. If your dog has done even one of these today, and they probably have, tell us which one in the comments. Not because it's engagement, because someone else reading your comment is going to look at their dog differently because of it. And that moment of clarity, that's what this is all for. Share this with someone whose dog has been trying to tell them something. Subscribe to K9 Science. We're just getting started. And go find your dog.